Good Tuesday, 3 o'clock sharp. And welcome to the Father's Chair, where fathers take their seat to lead, to feel. Now, this is the special episode of Deconstruct to Construct. My name is Fumani N. Shilubana. I am a father of 3 children, and I am sure of it. Well, I'm sure by now we have to start with that. So this is the Deconstruct to Construct section where we, as I promised, we'll be discussing 4 types of fathers. We're discussing 4 types of fathers. So on the series, we take real issues where fathers face and to break them down honestly, to we can a proper platform to see what are the things that we need to deconstruct as fathers, as a society. What are the things that we need to deconstruct to construct a better way forward, a better a solution? So, because this whole gender line of fathers there, mothers there, and sometimes children there, maybe sometimes children with mothers, it breaks that unit. It breaks that unit. So what we're doing with this particular series of Deconstruct to Construct is we'll be dealing with different subjects, different matters. At the end of the day, we need to come to a point where we will have a society where men, women, and children are a unit. Where men, children, fathers, and mothers and children are a unit, so we can build a better society. That's what Deconstruct to Construct series is about. We take real issues of where fathers face and break them down honestly, and then rebuild them to have a better way forward. So today, like as I said, we're discussing. This is a series of the 4 types of fathers. We dealt with the absent father. We dealt with the present father, but emotionally distant father. Today, we are dealing with a sticky one. This one is a bit the denied father. We're dealing with the denied father. That's what we are discussing today. So we always hear stories that are out there about fathers that are absent. We always hear stories that we are intentionally absent. We choose to run away. It's in our nature to run away. I have a different view, and I think fatherlessness, it's both equally so a responsibility of men and women, of families, whether it be the mother side, father side, paternal, maternal. I'm of the view that we are equally responsible for absent fatherhood. You always hear that there's certain stipulations that a father must have or must adhere to in order to be involved in the child's in the child's life. Let me give you a wild example. Here are 2 kids, pregnant, high school, teenage pregnancy. Bad thing, And then you hear the father's side, no, rather the mother's side, say to the father's side, so before you pay damages, which I hate that word, damages. Before you pay damages, you can't see this child. By that cultural practice, we've already severed a relationship. Let's assume we know that we're in a country where poverty is one of the biggest things. We know that in most communities where there are no activities, kids have sex. I know from my village, there's a lot of pregnancies because there are no activities. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. In communities where there's everything to do, or a lot of things to do, sex becomes the last thing. I mean, imagine coming out of school, you go to sports, you go to debate, you go to this, you go to this. There is a lot of things. So in communities where poverty is a thing, sex becomes an activity. And these kids become pregnant, and then we say, if you don't pay us, you can't see this child. That is family that has already denied a father presence. The child grows up. The young girl who needs support is also pissed off. Of course, the guy as well, thinking you took away my future, which actually they took their future away from both of them by sleeping with each other while they're young. He's pissed off at this father not being involved. Then now a relationship with the child is severed, cut. The child grows up later, pissed off. My father never wanted me. What was the cause? What happened? You know? Other things that we know, I on social media the other day, there was a story, you know those story on TikTok. There's a story about this lady. She was saying that she wanted to go somewhere, I think, and then, oh no, they were praising each other that they don't need the father to be on the birth certificate, you know, which is one of the things that says here. Because, you know, fatherhood recognition in 2019, 63% of fathers' names were missing from children's birth certificate, indicating a lack of formal acknowledgement. This is from Stat.SA. So that video I saw on TikTok, mothers were very excited that no, you can't put him on the birth certificate. If you want your name on the birth certificate, why did you make a child? If you want the man to be not, I mean, if you want the father to be on the birth certificate, why do you want to make a child out of wedlock? This is not a judgment of anything, but come on. You can't want one and not want the other simply because there's no marriage. A child is it's a binder, guys. As soon as the child is there, we can't be saying we can't put conditions now because now the child is there. We can't say, no, me, I want to travel, therefore if I put him on the birth certificate, therefore I won't travel. No, me, I want to do, hey, don't make the child if you're not in a proper union, in an agreement of sort of union, partnership, whatever that you want to make it, but it must be formalized. You know what I'm saying? So that too creates fatherlessness, because when we are happy that we're denying them access to be on the birth certificate, it further says we are not present. 63% of fathers, you know, I know with my son, I think when we went, automatically that lady at Home Affairs didn't want to put my name on. I was like, next, put my name there, something like that. But eventually they didn't put it on. We had to put it back on. But my point is, even in the department, it's automatic that they mustn't put the names on, which is a problem because it further creates this. It creates problems. Someone will say, no, but why did these guys run away? That is not the default that we should run with. It is not normal that we should run with that default to say, why did they run away? Why are you making the child if you're not with a person that you're going to have each other's backs? Don't make the child at all then. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't use children as, as pawn in this game of wanna be who's got more rights over this child. We can't do that. We really can't do that. You know? In 2019, over 12 million children, 64%, received childcare support grant because of the lack of regular financial support from their biological fathers. I have a very interesting thing to say about this one. I'm the wrong person to say this, but I'll say it. It makes no sense to deny access, yet you want responsibility from the other person. You can't deny access, and yet you want the money. It makes no sense. You can't deny access and expect this person. Like I'm saying, it even feels wrong for me saying that, but the reality of the matter is, you can't say you will do what you want and deny this person access to their children, yet you want them to pay for these children. What are we doing? Are we only ATMs? Is that how we are supposed to function in this particular space? So there are many examples I can give, man. Even the law, which I'm going to touch in here, even the law, it's skewed somewhat against this particular relationship. You know. For example, the absent fathers' names on birth. We spoke about this. The birth certificate. It's part of some of the reasons where we have feelings, guys. We have feelings. Must take off my beard sometimes. Must look after your beard. We have feelings of it. We have feelings that you can't just because you think when you are the mother, therefore you hold some sort of a right with everything. Jiggy, you go to court and then you put maintenance, whatever that, just because you can, and the law allows you, and the law will protect the child, which I agree with that. But we at one point we need to find a way that we should not take advantage of the law to fight our silly battles. Because at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about these kids. It's about these kids who have to feel the love and the bond of both parents. Of course, the cultural norms, which I touched also, is one of the biggest things that play a role in this. Because I feel certain cultural aspects need to change, like the damage thing, for example, we talked about. Yes, I think it's very important that, I don't know what is called Ishtonga, if there's such a thing, Ishtonga. It's in Tlaulo or whatever. I love that word in our traditional term, not in English. It's important that cultural practice is very important, is put in place, because here we are pregnant, we're out of wedlock, we are already relatives for the fact that we are pregnant, right? Then those two families would come and sit and have this discussion. You see what that cultural practice did? I like that. I love that it does that. It forces us to sit down and talk to how to make a plan to look after this particular thing, a particular child. Let me give you an example. We are pregnant, high school. We are in trouble. These kids still have to go to school. If these both families come and sit and talk, what then we do? We make sure we find a solution to look after this child while make sure that the parents are going to school. You see, those are some of the things that we need to construct, rather than using the cultural practice to say, we cut you out if you can't pay. You see, so some of those things also perpetuate the harmful implications towards the child. And imagine this child, this young, both of them actually, the young man, the young boy, for the fact that they had sex, probably they liked each other. Jiggy, the other one doesn't feel support. Jiggy, resentment. Jiggy, child has no father. You see what I'm saying? So some of the cultural norms, they do contribute to some of the things. I'm not saying we must change them. Look, I'm very big with I think we must respect our culture. I'm just saying, let's find a way to amend them, to really look at them in such a way that I'm using shea butter, guys. So it's such a dope product. So I was using some other product that wasn't doing well with my beard. I'm like, shea butter, it's not breaking anymore. Anyway, so coming back to this, I'm not advertising anyone. So at the end of the day, for me, we need to look at how do we use our cultural norms to better our relationship and building of units for our children. I mean, let me give you an example. I'm one person who never used to believe in polygamy. I never agreed on polygamy. That's one thing that I'm like, oh, no polygamy, no polygamy. Until one day I went to where they shot the first shaka in Richards Bay. And they showed us how a homestead is created, or like how it functioned. And when the guy spoke to us, no, in a family's homestead, everyone had a responsibility. This one was doing this one was doing this. And then in a space like that, there used to be wars and whatever. The men would go out and die, probably was married. Then it means good because everyone has a responsibility. That responsibility that he was doing is not taken out. Therefore, that family will either starve or that function won't be happening, right? One of them, sex, or for the wife. What do you think will happen? Do you think that woman, because now she's introduced to sex, she now knows what sex is, she will look for other guys in the community, probably other people's husbands, and then there will be issues in the community. So what did they do? They're like, no, one of the reasons that they practiced polygamy was that. It was to avoid such things, to make sure that function of that family is taken care of. There's still a man in that space. Not this way, today's way of doing polygamy. No. I'm saying when they explain that, I'm like, there was a system in this. There was a reason why we did it. It wasn't just a willy-nilly thing that was done, So, which jumps to economic issues. Because if the guy is out, because somebody used to go hunt, the lady will be at home taking care of the kids. Think of other functions, teaching the girls to how to bead, how to cook, how to this, how to do whatever. If that guy is out, it means Kuri, these ones are hungry. So now in today's time, the economic issue, we're now using economic issues to create instability. Well, not to create, it created an instability and in the family unit because we now use money as a way to say, if you don't put this, therefore you can't be a father. And father is not only money. I don't believe father. It's not even a belief thing. Fathering can be about the money only. Yes, money is important. Yes, it creates platform for other things to happen. But the bond between these two people, the relationship between these two people, the identity that we will create from these people, it's also as important. Imagine a child being pissed off the rest of their life, thinking that their father didn't want them just because only cultural norms and legal stuff that prevented the father to be there because he couldn't afford, therefore stay out. You can't afford, you can't be on the birth certificate. Yes, there are vindictive people who don't want to do things simply because of whatever reason that they have. But my point is, we need to find a solution that speaks for the child. That speaks for the child. Because at the end of the day, we can't be in a society. I refuse to say we are in a society where we don't prioritize the child. Guys, we are building these people for the future. We are building these people to be the next adults. So are you saying we are okay with building broken people? They're going to break more, Buffet. I know it's not easy. I know that people are angry at things that has happened to them because of their partners and everything. Are we not able to die to self? Because we can't deny fathers access because of resource. They could contribute in other things, man. You could be going out to go hustle and you could be staying around to look after the child. I also don't believe this year, no, a child can't stay with the father can't do certain things, which also goes to cultural norms. Cultural norms says, a father must not take off, must not change the diaper. A father can't wash their daughter. A father can't all those things that we put in a bracket to say this can't be done. No, buffet too. You could go be looking for work, or you could be at work, and this guy could be, because he's unemployed, could be with the child at home. And those are things that Majid, even us, we need to reverse a bit. So sometimes if I'm not working, I could be sitting with the kids. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. But could be doable. You follow? Because at the end of the day, Bafetu, we should, I'm a sole believer for this school, we should strive to build less traumatized people, which is kids now, that are going out to be people later. Because if the more we traumatize each other, the vicious circle will continue. The vicious circle will continue to a point where we don't know who we are. And I'm talking to us as black people. At one point, we need to be very intentional, Buffett, men and women. We need to be very intentional, because if our children are broken, they will be easily be taken advantage of. They will be easily be manipulated. They will be easily be slaved, trafficked. If our children are not good in their esteem and confidence, they will easily be exploited for the benefit of others, because that's what others are doing. They're taking advantage of our disunity. Is there such a word? They take advantage of our disorganized approach of life. Why don't we teach our children to say, guys, okay, we see this has happened to us, or happened to our grandparents, our parents. We know, we can see. I mean, there's no one who can say that they can see. They can see. Because this is not a space that we want to be in. Why don't we then create a space that, okay, fine. We know that in a space of father and mother, there's certain things that the other does that the other cannot do, and vice versa. And we can't take away from the other. Why don't we swallow I won't say pride. Why don't we die to ourselves to find a solution around it? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we should encourage or be in space that that they are very not stable. There are people who are not stable, both men and women. I'm not saying we must encourage that. If there's such a space where the father or the mother of a child was a person like that, find other father figures, mother figures to impart that in your children. But my point I'm trying to say is, let us be in a space where we encourage development of our children to be better human beings. Is there such a thing as a perfect human being? No, I said better. By making sure that we die to self and give them as much as we can. The love, the support, the belief, the confidence, all those things, when they come together as a society, as Budaki, we'll find ourselves that we make better, because one of the things that you will see, we are very emotional as a society. And I'm talking about us as Budaki, all over the world. I'll talk about here at home, of course, but we are very emotional. We make emotional decisions, whether it be politically, whether it be economically, in business, everywhere we make emotional decisions that eventually they are detrimental. They are of our detriment. Then we mess up, and it's simply because we grow up in environments or homes that are not stable. I'm a sole believer, and I disagree with this completely, where people say, no, especially our mothers, our ladies, they say, no, I'm financially stable, therefore I can go and get a child. I can go get a sperm donor. But no, children need to grow in a space where there is stability as much as possible. You as a single parent, as a mother or as a father by yourself, you can never provide a stability that's balanced. Your money will never do that. So what do we do? What do we construct, Buffett? What is it we construct? Of course, we need to deconstruct some cultural norms, that I've mentioned, gender roles and stuff like that. Men and women provides as providers and women as caregivers. Those are things that we need to look into. Legal and institutional barriers. We need to deconstruct such things. The birth certificate thing, because that's also creates a state that's problematic. Economic factors. Those are things that we need to deconstruct. What is that we're constructing then? A new narrative. Redefining fatherhood. Promote a broader understanding of fatherhood that includes emotional support, caregiving, and active involvement in children's lives beyond financial provision. These things, we need to be intentionally do these things. Policy reforms. For example, fathers need to go to a barini when mothers go to, after giving birth, that 3 months or 4 months of staying home, fathers need to do that as well. I know that laws are coming to that, but it needs to be part of a norm that happens. Policy reform, advocates for legal reforms that ensure fathers' names are included in birth certificates. This is in the DNA test too, and that children maintenance systems are accessible and are easily effective, because it's about the child at the end of the day. So we can't be fighting each other about, no, I don't want to pay maintenance. If you find men who end up leaving their jobs just because guy doesn't want to pay maintenance, are you nuts? Why do you go make that child then? You know what I'm saying? Community engagement. Encourage community programs that support fathers, their roles, provide parenting education, and create networks for shared responsibility. One of the things that we want to do with this podcast, we want to create a drive where we go out and create programs like, for example, screening for men and testing them to become more healthier. Those are some of the things that we need to create so that our fathers can live longer to be there for their children. That's very important. That's very key. Media representation. The father's chair. Until media platforms. Utilize media platforms to showcase positive fatherhood. Examples, challenging stereotypes, highlighting the importance of fathers in children's lives. You see, one of the biggest issues that we have in our society is media. Our media plays a role in destroying this father's character in homes. We need to be intentional and aware of that. Look at TV. You look at cartoons. Fathers are buffoons. They look idiots. You look at TV. Father and male strong characters are removed. You look at TV. Movies. They're eroding the father's character and father's responsibility and father's purpose. It's intentional. I know this because that's what TV does. When we script things, we script them for a certain intention. In every movie that you're going to see that I'm going to create, there's a thing that I always put of fatherhood inside. I'm very intentional about that because I've realized that we need media to also play a role. Hence the father's chair. Hence this podcast. Yes, I have a father figure foundation that's seek to bring back its purpose. Is to put back the father back into the family unit, because now it's like mothers and fathers and mothers and children and father. It can't be like that. It can't be like that. So these are the stuff that we need to deconstruct. To construct in order to have a better father situation. So by addressing this, we can work together in society where fathers is recognized and shared responsibility, leading to better outcomes for children's, for stronger communities. Guys, it's about the community. If the home is strong, the community is strong, and the society is stronger. Look at all the other cultures, be Indian, white, Asian. It's because things are working inside here, inside the father unit. I'm not saying they are perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're perfect. They are not. They are also humans as well. But I'm saying, if that structure is strong, you can't easily manipulate these people. If that structure is strong, your children know that whenever they are being abused, they can go at home and report, and it can be dealt with easy and early. You see what I'm saying? So, last statement, what are we constructing? To the denied fathers, hold the line. Keep records of it. Keep showing up. Keep the love alive. Your consistency tells a story your children will one day understand. A locked door now doesn't mean a closed heart forever. A locked door now doesn't mean a closed heart forever, Bafetu. We need to deconstruct this. Fatherlessness, mothers and fathers, families, maternal, paternal, we are partly the party that contributes towards that. It's not a father's role only. It's a society role where we need to make sure that we play a role together for the betterment of our children. If I didn't enjoy life, if my life was not good, if I was in pain, why would I then want my children, my grandchildren, to go and feel the same pain? Is that love? Is that care? Is that nature? Is that affection? Is that being genuine? If you know that you can't fulfill these things, then don't make the children. Don't make the children. This is the Father's Chair, where fathers feel, lead, and speak. If you like this, please subscribe, comment, and let's grow this community, guys. Let's grow the Fathers Network to make sure that fathers stay in their homes. See you next week. Sure.